Onto our examples now. So we are looking at features of a circle. First one we have is the letter A, and A goes straight across my circle, so it must be my diameter. B goes from the center to the side, so this has to be our radius because it doesn't cut all the way across, it's just a little bit. And again, it goes to that center point. And C goes all around the outside of the circle, so that is our circumference. So it's really good to make sure that you are acquainted with the features of your circle. Next one we are doing letter B. So find the circumference. So let's keep track of what we're trying to find. Find the circumference of a circle using pi in your calculator. And again, you're going to keep in mind that you are going to round your number to 1 decimal place. So that's really, really important. So here you have your circle, and what I've noticed already is that I have a radius. So I know that I'm going to be using my formula of circumference equals 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by r, which is exactly what I've got down here. And I'm going to substitute in where the r is, I'm going to substitute in my number 6. So then I substitute in my known values into the formula. So I type into my calculator 2 multiplied by pi multiplied by 6, and the last thing that I needed to do was to round to that 1 decimal place, and always make sure that you are including your units. Really, really important here. Okay, next example, we are finding the circumference of a circle using an approximation of pi. So we're finding our circumference. So I'll just make a little note up top here. So I'm finding, apologies. So I'm finding C. So having a look at our picture, I actually have diameter. So I know that I am going to have, so I'm finding the circumference given my diameter is 4. So way that you do this, you're going to be using this formula instead. So circumference equals pi multiplied by d. Or you could use circumference equals 2 pi multiplied by r. But again, these things mean the exact same thing. So first thing we know that we have is I have 4 centimeters as my diameter. So I'm going to use either this formula or this formula. If I'm using this one, I have to actually put in my diameter and I have to turn it into radius, so I divide it by 2. But again, you can use this one or this one. Next thing we're going to do is substitute your known values into the formula. So the one that we do know is we have our value for our radius, and we also have our value for our, apologies, we also have our value for our pi approximation, which we're doing as 22/7. Okay, then we get our answer, and make sure we are rounding it, as the question asks us to do, to 2 decimal places, which is exactly what we've got here with 0.57. And again, don't forget your units, really important. Okay, next one we are doing, using a mental strategy and pi equals 3, find the radius of a circle, apologies, find the radius of a circle when its circumference is 12. So we want to use, so we're using pi equals 3 and our brains to find out, apologies, to find the radius of a circle. So we're finding our radius. So first thing to do, always draw a diagram and write down all the information that you have. So we were told our radius, which is r, we don't know, but we know our circumference, which we told is 12. So keep that information front of mind. And we also were told that pi equals 3. So we can also write that information down. Next thing, we write that formula. So circumference equals 2 pi r. And we have our things that we can write down as our known values as well. We then substitute them in. So 12 times 2 times pi, which we're taking as 3, multiplied by r, which was an unknown value. So now we want to be able to think about, and again, this is why we're using our brains, think about what number would multiply by 6 to get 12. So what do you multiply 6 by to get 12? So we end up with our answer of 2. Hop on to the next video to see our worked examples.